Here are the top 5 AAA titles that the PlayStation VR 2 must make compatible with VR. Now I'm going to start off by saying that only 4 of these games are actually Sony exclusives, while there's one game that could potentially make this VR headset be the most sold VR headset of all time. Coming in at number 1, and this definitely wouldn't be a list without this game, is God of War. Now many people will probably agree that if this game was in virtual reality, they would never take their headset off. If you're a God of War fan, you know that this game provides an immersive and an intense story, along with visuals that are absolutely breathtaking. If Sony could somehow manage to pull this off, well, this would be one of the largest selling points of the PlayStation VR 2 that is set to come out in 2023. Coming in at number 2 is The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. Now, Sony has the opportunity to make a complete series out of this by completely rebuilding this game. Now, I don't speak just for myself, but for many others, as this is some people's favorite game of all time. Now, Naughty Dog does a great job with creating mechanics and everything to make this game feel as captivating as possible. Being able to go into this story again in VR could leave a lot of fans even more satisfied and even more captivated on this amazing series. Coming in at number 3 is Spider-Man. I could definitely see this game competing heavily with the Iron Man game that is very popular currently right now on the Meta Quest. Swinging from webs and jumping from building and taking down crime, there's nothing more that you probably want to do in virtual reality, so Spider-Man is definitely something that Sony could really have a massive hit with. Coming in at number 4, another huge fan favorite is Uncharted. Now, Sony has the opportunity to make this a complete series on the VR. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but just imagine the amount of sales that this VR would generate based on this series alone. In fact, Naughty Dog was one of the first big companies to create such an immersive and an expansion world that was a set spot to explore and only explore. Sony could also implement a lot of haptic feedback and a lot of sensory sensations with this game, as we've already seen the Uncharted series take on what is called 3D audio, and the PlayStation VR 2 is set to also have this in effect on their headset. Now, before I go over this last game, make sure to like and subscribe, as it truly genuinely does mean the absolute world to me, and it really makes this channel grow. Now, that being out of the way, I want to make sure that everyone knows that this game is one of the most popular games in history without implementing any type of VR already. Now, the PlayStation VR 2, if they could implement this game and if they can use that display along with using the sensory sensations, the 3D audio, the haptic feedback, could mean the biggest game ever to be released on the PlayStation VR 2. And this game would be, as some of you might have been able to guess, GTA 5. Now, we already know that GTA San Andreas is in the works for the Quest. Now, imagine if the PlayStation VR 2 can somehow implement GTA 5 on this headset. Now, I know I might be a little bit redundant and saying it over and over again, but I mean, just imagine the amount of sales that this VR headset would generate just having this game alone. Now, I don't just speak for myself, but I probably speak for millions of people that if this game was on the VR, I would be non-stop playing it. You would never be able to see me get off the headset. I'd be making constant content off it. I mean, it would just be absolutely insane, and that's why GTA 5 could be the reason that the PlayStation VR 2 could be the most sold VR headset of all time if this game can be implemented into it. Leave in the comments which AAA game that you think the PlayStation VR 2 should be implementing into their VR headset, and also let me know what your favorite VR game is of all time. I'm jizzleVR, and I'll catch you in the next video.